stop using food for what it's not for. So I was using food for boredom relief, for stress relief, for pleasure, for comfort. I didn't actually know this though, because it's so normalized in our culture,
Yes.
right? I wasn't the girl that came home and ate an entire freaking carton of ice cream followed by a bag of chips and like Coca-Cola, right? I was just grabbing a handful of nuts when I was a little bored, or like some dark chocolate at 9 p.m. It was like little things here and there. And I always tell my clients, if hunger isn't the problem, food isn't the solution.
Hello, amazing humans, and welcome to episode number 278 of the Game On Girlfriend podcast. Have you ever been on a diet? I know. Yeah. If you were born into a female body on planet Earth, chances are the answer to that question is yes. And as a business coach, right, as somebody who loves to talk to you about the power of your money and the power of your business and the way that you show up on this planet, your health is your number one business asset. And what that means is your entire body, how you view your body, how you walk around inside of your body, how you use your body on a daily basis to further your own mission. Let me tell you something. If you're hating up on your body, or you're starving it, or you're overfeeding it, or you're eating too many Doritos, believe me, I eat my own dog food when it comes to this. This is hard for me too. If we're acting that way towards our body, chances are we're hindering or pulling back on the extent that we could be having an impact on this planet and the extent to which we can be showing up. Because when we don't feel good, we don't want to show up, right? The extent to which we're showing up for other people and making the difference we're here to make. If this is you, if you have not been so kind to your body or you've talked to it in a certain way, this is the episode for you. I'm bringing us Laura Conley, who's one of my favorite people. I know I say that about a lot of my guests, but we met at a retreat and boy, did we hit it off. You're going to laugh at the amount of energy both of us have. This is definitely an episode to listen to, perhaps maybe while you're walking, while you're at the gym or driving, or if you're like me and you like to study and take notes at your desk. You're going to feel energized and excited by what Laura shares, and you will probably have several aha moments in this episode alone. Laura Conley is the founder of the Yummy Mummy Method, which has successfully helped hundreds of women lose weight for the last time. She's been lovingly labeled the fun weight loss coach by her clients. Laura helps mamas who've been painfully struggling with diet drama to lose weight for the last time and free themselves from food chatter forever, all from a place of love. She's on a major mission to do this so that her clients can pass down a beautiful legacy to their own children and live the life that they've always dreamed of. She does this through her unique and proven method that helps her clients on balancing their hunger hormones, rewiring their brains, feeling their emotions, providing loving accountability, and becoming their own best friends. Laura is the host of the Lose Weight for the Last Time podcast, and she's been featured on Be Well by Kelly podcast with Kelly Levesque. This is one of those episodes that's going to make you feel good about your life. It's going to make you feel good about you. And it's probably going to help you on your journey to being the most successful entrepreneur you can be, to making more money and rewiring your brain around money, simply because you rewire the way that you think about yourself and your body. Pop in those earphones and let's get to it. Laura, welcome to the Game On Girlfriend podcast. Oh my God, I am so happy to have you here. You're just one of my favorite people to talk to. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. This is so fun. I was all like sleepy, and then I get on the Zoom with you, and now I'm like, yay, I'm alive, awake, and enthusiastic. I'm ready to go. I love you.
I think you and I feed off each other a little bit that
Yes.
way. It's a little bit dangerous when we're in the same room. People are like, I left buzzing. I don't even know what happened. So good. So good.
I love
All
it.
right, Missy. Well, I'm really excited to dive in deep on this because I think, as you know, like severe obesity runs in my family. My weight fluctuates. It's something I'm always like, it's kind of pretty much always in the back of my head. I'm not going to lie. But I have to ask you before we jump into all the gooey goodness you're about to share with us, because especially for all you entrepreneurs out there, I believe health is your number one business asset. Okay.
Mm.
So before we dive into the gooey goodness, Laura, of all the things with your copious amounts of energy that you could have done on planet Earth, why is this what you do?
So good. So I was totally stuck in corporate. I had the golden handcuff. I don't know if you
Mm.
guys are familiar with that term,
Oh, yeah.
but I was a drug rep. So I repped ADHD meds and it was pretty cushy. Yeah, it was a really cushy job. It wasn't very hard. I made a lot of money. It sounds kind of obnoxious saying it out loud, but it felt really hard to leave because I did have the corporate car and like a fun day to day, a fun lifestyle, but it wasn't fulfilling because I was delivering bagels to doctors to try to bribe them to write scripts for me. And that was, I couldn't keep doing it. Like, I just wasn't in it. It wasn't fulfilling. And I didn't feel like I was really making a difference. I felt like I was wasting my life.
Got it. Yeah.
And I, you know, I always say to people, like, there's, there might not be such a thing as like your passion just dropping in your lap or your calling like dropping in your lap. But when I started to feel the lack of fulfillment, I started to follow just my curiosity. So I got really into yoga and I did a yoga teacher training. And I remember at the end of that teacher training teaching yoga to the class, like as our test, you had to like teach in front of
Wow.
the group. And I remember being like, oh crap, I have to do this. And it was kind of an out of body experience. It was like, I have to do this. There's no way I can't not do this. And I was scared. I was freaked
Yeah.
out. They did have that cushy job. And
Mm.
so it was all kind of happening at the same time. I was becoming less and less fulfilled
Yeah.
and more confronted with this isn't working. This I don't want to be delivering sandwiches to doctors. And because
Mm.
I followed the curiosity really for years at that point, I had that moment of like, I have to teach yoga. So I realized I really wanted to be a yoga teacher, but I didn't know how I was going to make that happen because I was making good money. I was
Yeah.
making money. And actually, I was the primary breadwinner in my family at the time. And so I was like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? But it was like, it wasn't like I want to do it. It was like, I have to do this. I have to leave corporate. I have to figure this out. So I sat my husband down and I was like, I need to leave. I have to leave. Like, can we make a plan? And he was like, yes, let's make
Mm.
a plan. And he was like really supportive. And we
Mm.
made a plan. We decided we were going to save up X amount of dollars so we didn't have to change our lifestyle too much. And it was going to take a year though. And so I was
Got
like,
it.
I'll
Okay.
teach him yoga on the side. We'll save up the money. I'll leave. He was building his career at the time because he had just finished his PhD program and a fellowship.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so a week later, after we had that meeting, my boss sits me down and he's like, okay, we're going to go through layoffs. We're laying off 50%. I just want to tell you this before you hear it from from the grapevine. You're not getting laid off. And I just wanted to let you know before the big announcement. And I was like, oh no, Bill, I need to be laid off, Bill. His name was Bill Smothers. And I was like, Bill Smothers, I need to get laid off. I
I
need a
just got
severance
chills.
package. And he was like, no, you're like my top rep. Like, there's no way you're going anywhere because he knows that if I leave, then it sucks for him. So I'm like, Bill, like, I have to be a yoga teacher, okay? Like, I just kind of came clean. And he was like, that's crazy. You're not doing that. That's stupid. Like, how are you going to ever, like, live this
Support
life that you say
yourself.
you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's cute, Laura. And a lot of people have the same sentiment, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
cute. That's sweet. And then a week after that, we get on the big company-wide conference call, and they're like, if you want to come forward and have a voluntary severance, you can. Like, we're gonna lay off the bottom 50%. But if you know you're probably leaving in the next year, like, do us a favor and like come forward. And I was like, I'm like screaming from the rooftops. I'm raising both hands. Meanwhile, I'm like scared of my boss because I'm like nervous he's gonna like make it really hard.
Oh,
But
wow.
he decides to take a position within that week in San Diego. So he's leaving from LA to San Diego. So now he doesn't care about me anymore. He's like, oh, you go live your yoga life, you hippie. And so it all worked out. The
Oh my
craziest part
God.
is when I found out what the severance would be, it was the same exact amount of
I
money that we had
can't.
planned. Yeah, it was crazy.
Come on.
So then I'm like, I have to sit. I was like, babe, I call him. I'm like, we have to have a big sit down. And he was like, what do you mean we have to have a big sit down? There's no sit down to have. Like, the universe just handed this to you on a silver platter. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, we don't have to have a big sit down. Like, let's do it. I
Oh
was
my
still
God.
scared. Like, I was
Yeah.
still
Of
really, really
course.
scared. And
Yeah.
people were still like my dad, my boss, they were like, really? Are you really gonna do like this doesn't seem
Mhm.
responsible, right?
Yes, yes.
So I did it. And I also really like money. And so I was gonna figure out a way to make the same amount of money that I had made in corporate. And that's just to say that like you can make the money that you want to make in these careers that a lot of like dads don't think are careers.
Yes.
Dads or moms or white dudes don't think
Yes.
are legit. But you can, and I'm living proof.
Mhm.
So I did. I left, I became a yoga teacher, and then within a couple of years became a life coach. And when I had my daughter 7 years ago, I really niched down in my coaching business and decided to become a weight loss coach, a body
Oh my
love
God.
coach, a food freedom coach, because I didn't want to pass down my diet drama to her.
Yes.
I
God, isn't that the
knew,
thing?
yeah,
Yes.
I was like, I don't want her sitting at the cafeteria table like her junior year having calorie counting contests with her friends. And I had another out of body moment, like kind of wake up call moment when I was 6 weeks postpartum. And I got out of the shower. I was butt naked. She's sitting there in her bassinet because she's attached to my hip, at 6 weeks, just
Mhm.
like cooing up at me, smiling, being so cute and fat and chubby and perfect. And I'm beating myself up for not bouncing back into my pre-baby jeans fast enough, quote unquote. And I was like, oh no, this stops here. Like, I'm
Oh
not
my
going to
God.
beat myself up because she's going to end up
Yeah.
with that inner voice. And I knew I could say all the right things because I had read everything there was to read about bodies and nutrition and everything. And
Hmm.
I knew she would inherit it even if I said the right things because she'd catch me glancing in the mirror at myself with disgust, or she would notice that I turn away from my husband in the kitchen when he like inevitably goes to grab my ass or whatever. Like
Right.
I knew
Right.
like I knew she would get it. I knew she'd see me trying on like 17 different outfits, you know. I
Hmm.
knew she would inherit it if I didn't heal it at the root. So that was
Wow.
my wake up call moment. And that's when I went on a mission to heal it. I kind of still can't believe that I've actually healed it because I really thought it was my thing. I had accepted defeat prior to that.
Hmm.
And so that was like the impetus to really like niching down, letting go of the teaching of the yoga and just going all in to free
Wow.
the moms because I'm like, if I can actually free myself from all of this food chatter and actually weigh what I want from a healthy place, like I have to help all the moms and all the women do that as well.
Oh my
So that's the why. That's why I do this thing on
God.
earth. Like I know it's like a long answer, but
It
that's
was
it.
a good answer, though, Laura. I mean, two things I just have to, I mean, I'm sorry. Hello. About the money and the deciding to quit. I don't always share my clients' one on one stories or all the students in the Abundance Academy. I'm not like, hey, yo, you should check out this story. But I can't tell you how frequently that's exactly what happens. And it happened to me too. My daughter called me while I was at work and was like, Mommy, I miss you. And I was like, get me the out of here. Like,
Uh,
I have got to get out of here. And that day I went into my boss and I was like, here's how you can lay me off. He's like, so much like your bill. He was like, it's never happening, Sarah. We're never letting go of you. And I was like, you have to. He's like, no. And then a week later, he's like, they want to restructure. I'm like, are you serious? So we worked together and got me out and got me separate, the whole thing. Right. And
oh
it's
my
like,
God, that gives me the chills. That's so
it's,
crazy.
I know it's when you were telling your story, I was like, oh my God, hi, mirror. But it's like this. And I have one client who I do have permission to share, Tasha Blasi. She helps women get pregnant now through IVF. And she was a senior executive at a country music station. And she had a couple of sessions with me and she's like, that's it. I'm clear. I'm quitting. And she walked in the next day and they laid her off. It's like, it happens so often when the universe goes, oh, she's serious now. Got it. The
Yes.
decision's been made. It's like, let's speed this up. And I've seen it so many times and I got it. I know there are people listening going, yeah, so easy for the nice, pretty white ladies to say. And it's like,
Yeah.
I got that too.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen to every race, right?
Yes.
To every age. I have
Yeah.
seen it happen and it is real. And so I so appreciate you sharing that because there's so many people, whether they've already left and they're like, oh my God, my business isn't taking off as fast. It's like, have you decided to focus on the revenue producing tasks or
Mm,
not? Right. Like that.
mhm.
And it's like, oh, shoot. Yes, I am going to do that. And all of a sudden things start to shift. Yes, it takes our actions
Yeah.
going in and being like, hey, can you lay me off? Oh, hey, Bill, I want to be one of the 50%. Like it takes those
Yeah.
actions. But once we really decide and double down, I find it. never doesn't work out. It's
I
wild. I don't
know.
understand it. I'm
Yeah.
not going to pretend I get it, but it always works.
Yeah,
So
the
good on
universe
you,
does.
sister.
Like you're
It
right. The
really does.
universe provides when you're very specific and
Yeah.
very committed. It's
Yes.
so good. Yeah.
Yes. And I love that you had a dollar amount you needed. You knew what that was. You weren't messing around. You talked to your spouse, right? Like you bring in like the big players in your life, you tell them what's going on,
Yeah.
and things start to shift. And I do think it takes other people too. We have to tell people, like,
Yeah.
hey, by the way, I'm not pushing this anymore. I'm actually going to go teach yoga. And I was
Mhm.
like, I'm going to become a life coach. People were like, are you out of your freaking mind? And I was
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not. Watch me do it. That fight for ourselves. I love that you have that. It's so
Yeah.
cool. And then I'm sorry. Hi, can we talk about the moment with your daughter?
Oh,
I
yes.
so appreciate you sharing that because I've been on a diet since I was 8. Listening to my aunts, my mom has 5 sisters, my aunts, my
Mhm.
grandmother, all of them, on the heavier side, lovely, beautiful, gorgeous, and healthy, but on the heavier side and always dieting, right?
Yeah.
Like always. I mean, I remember the cassette tapes for all of us who are old enough to remember those. I know I'm like 80 million years old, but like cassette tapes with subliminal messages on them to have you
Oh,
not crave. I mean, oh my God. It was like if there was a diet, it was in my family. And
yep.
I remember being at a restaurant with my daughter. She was 5 or 6, and I turned around to look at my backside right in the restaurant, and she was watching me. And I was like, oh, shoot, I just passed that on. Like it was that moment of like, she just watched me do that.
Yeah.
And so I totally get why this is a life. And I'm so grateful to you for doing it. But I get why this is your life mission. I got it. It's huge, Laura.
Yeah.
Huge.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
can't not do it. It's what we were saying before. Like,
yeah.
I don't even have a choice, really. Like it's almost like my divine assignment from the universe. I know that's so cheesy, but I can't not do it even in the days when it gets like really hard and I'm like, screw this. Like I'm gonna go back to corporate. Like, because there are days like that. And I think that's
There's,
like really good to call out because
Mhm.
like life is still gonna life. It's still right. Like it's you still can have your dream come true, job, career, business, whatever.
Mhm.
Life is still gonna life. But even in those moments, I'm like, but there's a mom out there beating herself up for not bouncing back into her genes and berating herself, and
Yeah.
like literally have to free her from her mind. Like I,
Mm. I love that. So I just have to ask. All right, we have the moment in the shower, right?
yeah.
You're with your daughter, chubby, squishy, and perfect, right? Where do we lose that? We lose that that's perfect,
Yeah, like
right?
why? Yeah, why is her cellulite? She had so much cellulite. It was so cute. Like, why? I'm like,
It's
why is her
delicious. Yeah.
cellulite cute to our society, but like my cellulite's not cute to our society? Like, at what age do we decide? Okay, at age 8.5, it's not cute anymore. I'm like, that's so unfair.
It is. It's ridiculous. And it's all made up. I mean, I think that's part of what like the mirage, the illusion we start to like pierce
Yeah.
through, right? Is this is all freaking made up.
Yep.
So that moment in the mirror, and you said, I have got to heal this.
Mm.
That's really powerful. I have to know, what did you do? Like that's a really big proclamation. I'm going to heal this thing that you'd surrendered to, this thing where you're like, I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. What did you do after that moment? Like what steps did you
Went
take? You feel this
psycho. I
calling?
went psychotic. I became a maniac. Like I I went down like every rabbit hole. I just studied it in a new way. What I
Mm,
had done prior was just study every diet and study every workout. And
okay.
then I started using a lot of the coaching tools and a lot of the psychology because I had been a coach already at this point for 5 or 6 years, and my degree is in psychology. And so I'm like, what if I could use these same principles that I'm using to change every other area of my life and my clients' lives to weight loss? Like,
Mm,
what if it starts in the brain? And so I started just going down those rabbit holes and seeing how I could apply really psychological tools like cognitive behavioral therapy tools to
yeah.
weight loss and to my relationship with my body, to the way that I talk to myself about my body, to the way that I talked to myself about food. I'm like, what if I could just change this inside my brain? And so that was a huge piece of it. There was
Hmm.
also a huge piece of it that came from hormones. So, like, I always thought that you had to lose weight by creating a calorie deficit or counting macros, right? And hitting certain numbers. And I was just like sick of it because Yes, I could lose weight actually by counting calories or counting or tracking macros, but it sucks. I don't like it. It's unsustainable for me. And
Zero
I was
stars.
always starving because
Mhm.
like I wanted to have big fun weekends where I was eating all the things. So in order to do that, I had to eat like 800 calories Monday through Thursday so I
Oh,
could have like 1500 calories. Like it was just stupid. And so I was like, I am not like, I also am somebody who wants to have it all. Like, I am just like, sometimes I get annoyed at myself because I'm like, why do you have to want it all, Laura? Can you just like settle, you know? And I'm like, and now I'm just like, F that. No, we want it all. We're going to have it all. We're going to figure it out. So I did really want to heal my relationship with food and all that food chatter and food noise. I wanted to heal my relationship with my body. I really wanted to love my body and love the way that my body looked. And I also wanted to weigh what I wanted to weigh from a healthy place. I
mhm.
wanted it all. And my hunger hormones were a huge missing piece. So, counting calories does not work if you want to lose weight for the last time because it's unsustainable and it also leaves you hungry. Like, for me, I was like, I don't want to starve myself thin this time. Like, this time, I want to do it in a healthy way. And so, healing my hunger hormones and my blood sugar was the missing link. Yes, the mindset, the cognitive behavioral therapy was huge. Emotional eating was huge. I'll talk about that in a minute. But healing my hunger hormones was also huge. And this is something nobody taught me.
Yeah,
No one
really. I've
taught
never
me,
heard it
like,
before.
yeah, I'm like, what is even a hunger hormone?
Right.
So, your hunger hormones are insulin, leptin, and ghrelin, and 94% of Americans have an imbalance in hunger hormones. But it's really not that hard to balance your hunger hormones. And once you do, the weight literally falls off. I know this sounds crazy, but the extra weight, the excess weight, the extra fat that was on my body that I believe wasn't supposed to be on my body, actually, because I didn't feel like myself energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally, really started coming off. And I couldn't believe it. Like,
Hmm.
I would eat a normal, healthy 3 meals, like on a Tuesday. And then the next day, I remember my diet brain would be like, oh God, we can't get on the scale because we actually ate food yesterday. And we're going to be up. And then I would get on the scale and I would lose and I would lose and I would lose and lost that baby weight and some of the extra weight that I had from having a diet brain. That's where
Mhm.
that mindset piece comes in, and from eating for emotional reasons came in. And so I healed my hunger hormones. So that made it really easy. It like makes all your cravings go away. It basically, when you heal your hunger hormones in the way that I teach, it's basically like natural Ozempic is what it is. And it's just nobody is teaching us this because it doesn't cost, like the big pharma can't make money off of
Right.
teaching us how to heal our hunger hormones. That's a whole nother conversation. Anyways, so that was a big deep dive that I went on. So I figured out, okay, heal my hunger hormones, rewire my brain, like
Mhm.
habit change basically, and then stop using food for what it's not for. So I was using food for boredom relief, for stress relief,
Yeah.
for pleasure, for comfort. I didn't actually know this though because it's so normalized in our culture,
Yes.
right? I wasn't the girl that came home and ate an entire freaking carton of ice cream followed by a bag of chips and like Coca-Cola, right? I was just grabbing a handful of nuts when I was a little bored or like some dark chocolate at 9 p.m. It was like little things here and there. And I always tell my clients, like, if hunger isn't the problem, food isn't the solution. And so that was like another huge thing for me.
Yeah.
So really it's like threefold. It's like, well, it's fourfold. It's your hunger hormones have to be healed, not that hard. Your mindset has to be what I call a yummy mummy mind. We have to let go of the diet brain. We have to just really rewire your brain through neuroplasticity. This is like when I was in college, I didn't make my bed. And I realized, like, my sophomore year, like, I want to make my bed. I want to be someone who makes their bed, right? I just automatically didn't make my bed every single morning, but it didn't leave me feeling the way that I wanted to feel. So I had to get really intentional and conscious and make and like pay attention every morning for like 2.5 weeks. And now I just automatically make my bed. The same is true for our brain when it comes to food and food choices. So that's number two. Number three is the emotional eating part. And then also accountability. I
Hmm.
actually thought that you just came one way or the other. Like I kind of thought you just like my husband, he'll like set a New Year's resolution and not tell anybody and he'll just achieve it. And I'm like, you weirdo. Like I have to tell the
How do you
whole
do that?
yeah,
Yeah.
how do you do that? Like you have inner accountability. You can just honor your word without like telling a million people and people harassing you. And he's like, yeah, babe.
You're like,
And
what is this magic?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I also learned like self-trust. I learned like, oh, I actually can learn to follow through on my word. I can learn to stop throwing in the
Mm,
towel. I can stop it with the all or nothing thinking, the black and white thinking, the perfectionistic thinking. So that's another piece of it. There's another piece too, which is love,
mm,
self-love. Like
mm.
we think that if we just beat ourselves up hard enough, we can weigh what we want. And it's just like not true. So I really had to learn how to like love myself. And I didn't think I didn't love myself. I actually thought I did love myself.
Right.
I just had to upgrade that love and stop being mean to myself when I
Mm.
made mistakes because and that's actually a huge part of it. Anyways, I don't know if that answers your question. Sorry, I'm just going
It does.
everywhere,
No,
Sarah.
because no, I mean, I'm sitting here like you do to your husband. I'm like, what is this magic? You like look in the mirror, you're like, I gotta heal this. You freaking heal it. I'm like, I'm sorry, back that truck up, please, because whoa, that's what everybody's looking for. And I love that you brought up Ozempic too, because somebody I know and love like to pieces who, much like me, has had food noise her whole life, the whole thing. And she's not overweight, but she used Ozempic to lose like 20 pounds, right? And for her, the miracle was that the drug stopped the obsession.
Yeah,
And that to me, she was like, it has changed like that
yeah,
moment, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that to my body though. To like for me, I'm not slowing down my digestive system
yeah.
to just stop the food noise. And so I hear you saying this is actually the free way to do that, but it takes work. And I so appreciate you being honest about that. Like the retraining and the making the bed. And like you got to actually be intentional for a hot second. This isn't magical
Yeah, you
thinking.
do. You
Yeah.
do have to work at it, but you're already, I mean, most people, like my clients are already working at it. They're
Right.
just not getting the results that they want, right? So it's like let's work, it's kind of like cliche, but like let's work smarter, not harder. And really you really can create natural Ozempic in your body by eating in a certain way. And you eat in a certain way and you're not hungry, which is just it's just magic. It really is magic. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, like to your point, like there's nothing wrong with Ozempic. Ozempic is great for so many people, but
That's
there's a
right.
lot of people
Yeah.
that don't want to take it, or there's a lot of people actually in my program that do take it and they actually just needed more tools. It wasn't actually the magic pill that they thought it was going
Right.
to be.
Right. And the
So,
coming off of it is really scary for a lot of people too. And rightly so. Right. And I get that. So you're saying we can use whatever external work you need. That's fine. But eventually, no matter what, you
yeah.
have to come back to healing what's actually happening here.
Yeah, and so that's like a little bit of a bummer for me with Ozempic because I'm like, oh, but like you might be missing out on the opportunity to like be your own best friend. Like
Hmm.
I really just enjoy being with myself all day, every day.
Yeah.
And that byproduct, like that result is because of my weight loss journey, my healing, my relationship with my body journey, and my healing my relationship with my food journey. Why I love being with myself all day, every day is because of that journey. And so that's when I get bummed that people are using Ozempic because I'm like, oh, but you're missing so many unexpected benefits of like doing the root work, the internal work, which, you know, if they're using food to soothe or they're using food for comfort and then they take Ozempic, that habit will likely transfer to something else. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Because
Yeah,
there's a root cause to all this, right? Just like anything, it
yeah,
doesn't matter what we're reaching for almost, right? For
yeah.
99% of us, me included, I totally put myself in this bucket, right? Is
Cool.
food. Because it's totally acceptable. It totally changes your physiology. It cuts
Yeah,
through. I love when you say the boredom, the stress, the upset, the whatever. I use it to replenish after a day with clients, right? Giving, giving, giving. I have to
yeah,
be really careful when I go into the kitchen because I want to replenish. It's
yeah,
like, okay,
totally.
but slow down, right? It's really the thing that most of us reach for. But if the root cause isn't addressed, I get what you're saying about what an opportunity that is, because I would venture to guess that as that heals, there's a lot of aspects of life that
Yeah.
get touched by that. Is that accurate?
Oh, I mean, my clients come on my podcast and they like forget to talk about their weight loss because they're like so excited about their marriage, or they're writing a book now, or
Ugh.
they like actually enjoy playing Uno with their kids. And I'm
Oh.
like, how much weight did you lose? My audience
You're
wants to
like,
hear
back it
how
up,
much weight
lady.
you lost.
Yeah. Let's talk
And
about
you're
the
like,
weight.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Oh,
the
wow.
unexpected benefits. It's like the
Hmm.
why. What is your why? So if any of you guys are listening and you're like, yeah, I actually do want to weigh what I want to weigh, it's like, well, why do you want to weigh what you want to weigh? And that's what you create, like, and
Mm,
more, because it ripples to every area, right? Especially because we're healing at the root.
mm,
So it
mm,
ripples into, again, your marriage, your relationship with money, actually, your relationship with how you contribute to the world. If you have kids, just you being in your day to day, it changes everything. It can't not,
right.
because you're in your body every day, all
Mm,
day. It's your home. So
mm,
if you
mm.
don't feel good in your body, it's going to, again, ripple out to every area.
Everything.
I mean, the unexpected benefits are, the lists are very
Very
long.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine. And I also wanted to acknowledge because I look at everything with abundance, right? And
Yes.
how important it is that we don't buy into the illusions, right? That cellulite is bad or you have to do that. But the abundance mindset, Laura, that I think you have is that it's both. I want both. And that is an abundant mindset. Like I say, when there are people out there in the world who already have a great deal of abundance, they don't think in either or. They think
No.
in both. How
Yes.
do I have both? And sometimes you got to work on it a little bit. But I always joke around about my kitchen. When I renovated my kitchen,
Yeah.
I wanted the really beautiful stone. Well, that meant I had to paint the cabinets myself so I could get the really super expensive stone, right? But I thought both. I'm not going to just do one. I want both. And that is exactly how you approach this, which I wanted to acknowledge because that is a vibration I like to play life on. Is like, wait a
Yeah.
second, who made these rules again? What
Yeah,
can I learn?
exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's
people
cool.
think that, like, if they want to lose weight or they want to change their relationship with themselves, their body, food, that they're like bad or wrong for wanting that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, let's approach it from abundance. Let's approach it from, you have an amazing, beautiful body already, and you just want to upgrade it. You just want,
Mm.
like, just because you want to change your body doesn't mean you don't love it. I used to feel so much shame for wanting to change my body, especially as a yoga and meditation teacher. I'm supposed to be like evolved. I'm supposed to like love every inch of my skin.
Yes.
And I felt like I was lying to myself because I actually wanted to change it, but I actually did love my body, but I felt like wrong or bad for wanting that. And what
Mhm.
the ironic thing is, the extra weight that was on my body was coming from me not loving myself, coming from me not knowing how to take care of myself at 9 p.m. when I did
Mm.
feel empty and I wanted to replenish, or I did feel stressed and I wanted dark chocolate. I didn't know how to actually take care of myself. And so the things I was trying to do to take care of myself, it wasn't actually like really an act of love. It was more an act of like abandonment. Nothing wrong or bad with me for using food, right? Food is, like you said, it's actually a great coping
It
mechanism.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it works.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until it
Yeah.
doesn't. And then that's just a decision that we get to make. Like my husband definitely uses food for emotional reasons, like from time to time, right? And
Mhm.
but he doesn't have a net negative. It works for him.
Right.
He has a stressful day or he wants to celebrate. He's gonna go eat steak and potatoes and have a big dessert, whatever. But like that's a net positive to net neutral for him. It's not a net negative. For me, it became a net negative.
Got
And
it.
so
Yeah.
anyway, so yes, abundance. Let's create from abundance. Let's create from
Yeah.
like, you know what? I do have an amazing body and I want to feel even better.
Yeah. Let's take it up a notch even. Like this is so exciting. How can we make it even more delicious? I love
Exactly.
that. And so I know, let's talk about this emotional eating thing and a way that you sort of approach this entire thing, this
Yeah.
entire journey. Let's not call it a thing, it's a whole journey, right?
Yeah.
Is to check your engine lights, right? I would assume if we're about to emotionally dive into food for me, I am not allowed to have chips or Doritos in the house ever. They are my things, right? So if I lose that battle at the grocery store, I'm sure as hell going to lose that battle in my house. Right? So they're just not allowed. So
Yes.
it's, I can't. It's like a red light food for me. I know if I'm going for those, I need something. Right.
Oh,
Because when I'm doing well, when I'm really happy, I love having salads for lunch. I guess it's my favorite, right? It's like, oh my God, I love it.
same.
And
Yeah.
I know when I'm going for those, something else is going on. Is that
Mhm.
what you're talking about when you say a check engine light?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
And that's where I was going a little bit with the Ozempic. It's like the check engine light is coming on, and then we're not going to the dealership or the body shop, right? We're just trying to put a band-aid on. What I want to encourage everybody to do is actually look at the check engine light and look and be like, what is going on? Like, if hunger isn't the problem, food isn't the solution, what am I looking for? So, like, if you're like I used to be and you're pacing the pantry, like looking, I'm always like, or I don't do it anymore really, but like, I would be just like standing in the fridge and you're just like standing there, like looking. It's like, what am I looking for? There's something here that needs care.
I
Yeah.
love that. So if
There's,
your check engine light comes on, you don't go to the car wash.
yeah,
Right? Like that's not going to solve the problem, right? Like, no, it might look pretty, not going to solve the problem. Yeah,
exactly. And so, like,
got it.
where I want you to really like get excited actually that you're like when you're pacing in the pantry or you're looking or you're digging for chocolate chips in the trail mix or you're sneaking your kids snacks or whatever you're doing. Actually, can you be excited in that moment because now you notice something. Now you notice the check engine light is on instead of being mad at yourself, because I think a lot of us
Yeah.
do that. We're like, oh, here I go again, eating the
Hmm.
Doritos. And it's
Hmm.
like, no, maybe this is a good thing. There's something going on. My check engine light is on. I need to be replenished. I just had a big day with a lot of clients. How could I take care of myself now so that I don't have more cleanup work to do, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
how can I really take care of myself in a way that isn't a net negative? How can I give myself a true pleasure versus a false pleasure? For a lot of us, food is a false pleasure because it's that net negative and it leaves us hungover. It's good for 5 minutes, but then 25 minutes later, we're like, oh, and then next morning we feel kind of hungover. We have like a chip hangover or whatever.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then,
Salt hangover is mine.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm like,
and we don't feel good, on
hmm.
vacation when we really wanted to, look and feel a certain way on vacation because of the chip habit. And so it's like, what am I really looking for? Like, what needs to be cared for? And trust
Mm.
yourself, because when you ask yourself that question, you will come up with answers. Be willing to guess at those answers and be willing to follow those answers. That's your intuition, that's your gut. And you do know the answer. Like, I want to empower you to believe yourself when you're like,
Mm.
what I really need, and to put on a yoga nidra. And like, here's the thing, you're not going to get a big hit. You aren't. I'm
Oh,
going to be
that's
honest with you.
good.
Like, you get a big hit when you have
Yes.
the chips, right? Because those chips are designed with the perfect amount of fat, the perfect amount of salt, the perfect amount of sugar
And crunch.
and crunch, right? And it lights your brain the F up. Like, it
Yes.
is a Christmas tree in there. And big food, it's like a multi-billion dollar industry. They have
Yes.
figured out how to make food a drug. And so,
Yes.
like, it's no wonder. So you do get a giant dopamine hit when you have the chips or when you have the sugar,
Mhm.
but it comes with a huge fall. It comes with a huge crash for a lot of us. Some of us, not so much, right? But for a lot of us, it leaves us not feeling the way that we want in our bodies, and it doesn't allow us to have the health that we want, the longevity that we want. So it's like, yeah, going to bed early or taking a freaking bubble bath or getting a pedicure or chatting with your friend or going for a walk in the sunshine, not going to give you that super high, but it doesn't leave you with that low, and it gives you the sustained fulfillment that you need, and it also gives you the feeling of pride. So the hit isn't
Mm.
high, but it gives you really it's like a clean high. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the sustained high. So yeah, so I love the check engine light because it's giving you an opportunity to take exquisite care of yourself if you're
Oh,
willing to ask that question.
I love that. I love that because I think, we have been taught at such a young age as in those of us in female bodies, right? It's like from a very young age, it's got to look like this. It's got to perform like that. It's got to make other people happy. It's got to do, and by the way, make it as small as possible, right? Like all these things we've been taught. So
Yeah.
to flip that illusion on its head and come at this with so much love and joy and almost I want to use the word tenderness and kindness, which surprises me. I didn't expect to say that, but it's really how it feels of like
That's right.
those moments when you're on a walk for me, right? Instead of diving into the bag of Doritos, right? And getting that high, and it is a high, right? It
Mm-hmm.
really is. It's an opportunity to say, okay, what do I actually need? And then to actually create a gentler high in a way
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't hurt.
That's right.
Love it.
So
Love it.
well said.
Okay. So if someone's like, okay, I'm buying into this is, oh, I'm getting there, but I hate the way I feel in my body right now. Like,
Hmm.
what could somebody do right now to feel good
Hmm.
in their body and start to sort of maybe put themselves on a different trajectory?
I want you to first check in with yourself. Like, do you really not feel good in your body, or do you not feel good in your body because our culture is shooting on you? Our culture is saying you should look different, and
Yeah.
because of that, you don't feel good in your body,
Right.
right? And so it's like there's two different things. Like, I didn't feel good in my body because culture was shooting on me because of the way I've been programmed and socialized. I also didn't feel because I didn't know, right? And I also didn't feel good in my body because I actually didn't feel good in my body. Like, if I could take out all of the culture shoulds and the way
Okay.
that I was supposed to be, if I really could silence that, which I don't know if that's actually really possible
It's
because
so
the,
pervasive.
the
Yeah.
programming is so deep.
Oh,
But if I could really shut that out, like, do I actually feel good in my body? Like, some of my clients are like, why can't we go back to the Renaissance times? Like, where where it was acceptable culturally to, like, that was the goal then, to like have extra fat on our bodies was the goal. And I
mhm.
was like, but did those women actually feel good in their bodies? I wonder. Like,
We don't know. Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. But like, for me, when I really checked in, I just didn't feel good in my body. So that's where you want to like just get curious
Okay.
and just like find some answers there. That's step one. But I want you to live into those questions, right? Because like you might not know. It's like, okay, like, do I really want to change my body, or do I just want to change my body because culture says then I'll be good enough, right?
Right.
And so it's
Right.
like reconciling with that. So for
Mm.
me, I just genuinely found that I didn't feel good in my body. And if that's the case, what I wanted to do for me was I actually wanted to lose the fat in my body, but that's going to take some time. Like, and
Yeah.
it's as it
As
should.
it should. Right. Yes.
So how do you
Yeah.
feel good in your body right now today? Now, what I want to offer you is that you do things that make you feel good in your body. They get you back into your body. So what is that for you? Like, for me, it's dance. For me, it's pickleball. For me, it's going for a walk. For me, it's a hot shower. Like, get into your body
Mm.
and be willing to drop in. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
get in there. A lot of us are living from the neck up.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what did you do when you were a kid? What did you love doing when you were a kid? Did you love playing
Mm.
basketball? Did you love doing gymnastics? Like, how can you just sidestep a baby step into that? Because I want you to get back into your body and notice if body shame or
Mm.
body hate or body beratement comments come up. That is not you. That is your brain braining, and that's okay. And you can slowly start to replace those thoughts. So if you're like, oh, I just feel so disgusting. Oh, I hate my body. Oh, I'm not even gonna look in the mirror. Can you find a better feeling thought of like, this is the body that I have right now today, and I'm willing to be in it and work with it. Like,
Mm.
it's not our bodies that are really the problem.
Right.
Actually, like our
Ever.
bodies ever.
Right.
Our bodies
Yeah.
are miraculous. Like, did you know that if you have extra fat in your body, it's your body doing you a favor because your body thinks that your body and your brain, which your brain's in your body, but your brain and your body think that we still live in caves.
Right.
So they don't understand that food isn't readily available. So, like, how miraculous actually is that? That you have your body stores extra fat to support you. Your body's just trying to help you, right?
Yeah.
And so the last
Yeah.
little like tactical thing I'll give you, because that's a little meta and that's like thought worky and coachy, is to also have two outfits that you feel good in now.
Oh,
Like
I
in
love that.
yeah, she's like, thank you for the tactical stuff. I know I want to get all like
No, I like the mindset. Please, you know me. I think all success is 80% mindset, 20% strategy. So I'm here for both. But I love
yeah,
that
so it's
idea.
just like maybe finding one or two thoughts that you can think about your body that feel decent for you, or at least neutral or accept in the ballpark of acceptance. Because a lot of us can't go from hate to love. Like, that's just too big of
Mm.
a jump. So, like,
Okay.
this is the body I have right now. My body is doing its best to support me. So, that's the mindset. What is one or two thoughts I can think about my body that
Mm.
don't make me feel hate or shame, that
Yeah.
make me feel neutral or acceptance towards my body? That's
Mhm.
number one. Number two is two outfits. Two
Okay.
outfits that you can feel good in today. Go shopping, spend the money. I know, like for some of us, like we might not have a lot of extra money right now. I'm telling you, the ROI is there because you live in your body every day. And so many of us have this chatter of like, we sit down to drive, we have a negative thought.
Yes.
We play with our
Yeah.
kids, we have a negative. Like it's just always running. And it's an easy hack. You can find two outfits, like a casual outfit and a nicer outfit, and you just wear the outfit over and over and over and over and over again if you do want to lose weight. Now, if you decide you don't want to lose weight, which is totally an amazing choice, like that's what I really do for my clients is like I just want to help you choose and to be intentional and to decide on purpose
Mm,
what you want. There's no right or wrong.
right.
But in our culture, we're not taught to ask, what do I want? And
That's
like
right.
actually be able to hear the answer. So I feel like that's really what I do is help my clients figure out what do I actually want and then like let's go get that. So if you do decide you want to lose weight, two outfits. If you decide you don't want to lose weight, then seven outfits,
Got
right? And
it.
like
Okay.
yeah.
Love this
And
body. Seven
yes.
outfits. Okay. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's so much more there, but I'll be
Ooh, dang, that was some stuff.
oh
And I
my
have to
God.
tell you, for those of you listening in, so Laura and I met at a retreat in San Diego, and there was one thing you said there, which you've said here too, that just like my brain exploded inside my head, which was if hunger isn't the problem, food isn't the solution. That has been playing in my head over, and there have been so many times. I think this is why I'm more aware, by the way, of what happens to me at the end of a workday, is
Yes.
because I am hungry, but I'm
Yes.
not that hungry. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, okay, and if I'm ending the day that hungry, then maybe I can eat more throughout the day. So I'm not that hungry.
So insightful.
But
Good
you did
job.
that. Yeah. Like it really planted in my brain. And I think that again just goes to show how important it is, back to your making the bed analogy, that when we actually analyze the actions we want to take, the intentionality that can come with that, and then the mindset work that has to come with that as well. And that beautiful combination creates such an incredible relationship for us to be able to do whatever the hell we want to do, right? Like
Yeah.
I work with women who like I could never not have credit card debt. Like that's not a thing. It's like someone saying I could never not be on a diet.
Yeah.
And those things are not true, but we back ourselves into a corner and we start to believe it and then we make it real. And the power of working with someone like you to sort of pull that apart and actually question it is it's just it's borderline miraculous, isn't it? When
Yeah.
we really start using this stuff, it's like, holy crap, I could have been living this way this whole time. Like
I
that's
know.
amazing.
I
Yeah,
know.
so
Yes,
good.
some of my clients are like, oh my God, this whole time. And I'm like, don't go there. Don't shame yourself for it. Like, just be happy that we're here now.
Yeah. Time out. Yeah, I know, but it's easy to go there, right? So, well, all right. So, my beauty, if someone is like, holy crap, I need me some more Alara in my life, where can people find you?
Yeah. Okay, so I brought you guys a gift because I know it's coming on this podcast because I created for my community and for my audience like the thing that I would have wanted so badly when I was yo-yoing and dieting and on a green juice cleanse into a pizza to the face. Like, I was like up and down roller coaster life. So I created your perfect weight loss plan. So if you do decide you want to weigh what you want to weigh without doing crap you hate.
Yeah,
I created this three-step plan to lose weight without counting calories. We usually charge for it, but just go to Laura Conley. I'll give you the link too, Sarah, but
of course. Yeah.
lauraconley.com. So it's lauraconley.com/plan. My name is LauraConley/plan. And if you love podcasts, you can come listen to my podcast called Lose Weight for the Last Time with Laura Conley. Yeah, and you can stalk me on my website. Oh, Instagram, Laura Conley Coaching, all of the things. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You guys, we're going to have links. If you're watching this on YouTube underneath this video, if you're listening in, those links will be in the show notes. Laura, you are just one of my favorite people. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Thank you for helping so many of us heal from the inside out. And I
Mm.
can't wait to see what you do next, sister.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much for having me. Do you want me to read that one quote? I
Sure,
want to.
go for it.
So the quote I really wanted to share she's called Naira Wahid, and she says, and I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I've been waiting my whole life for this. Oh,
I just
and
got chills. Oh,
yeah, and
yeah. Okay,
our,
well,
our bodies are desperate for our love, and we can give it to them.
Oh my God, that's really powerful. Laura, thank you so much. Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'll stop talking. I love you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, all right, my love. I will talk to you soon. You guys will be back with another episode next week. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.